What's up, Fit Fam? This is Giovanni of Gio's Logic, your host of Fitness Junkeez, and I hope this show meets you in good health and spirits, and if not, I hope it inspires you to do something about it. Today is one of my favorite shows. I don't have any guests, but I get to talk the whole time. And if you know me, you know I'm not what you would call a talkative person, but I do like to get my point across. But it's funny that I am not a talkative person. I have a talk show. Anyway, so every couple of 8 to 10 to 12 shows, I like to do a recap show because during my shows, it's all about my guest. So I don't necessarily get to pontificate on the topics that we have, and I want to really get my point through because it's the whole purpose behind this is to kind of simplify all the information out there on health and fitness and give people some clarity and inspiration to change their lives through health and fitness. So what I do in this show is I'll show you a clip from a few of the past favorite shows or segments that I've had over the last month or so. And then I'll talk about them, and then we'll see a bunch of different stuff. So this first guest that is Angie Feliciano, and she's Jay Cutler's fiance. And it's actually the Jay Cutler Classic today here in Las Vegas, which I'm going to go to later on today. And hopefully we'll have Jay on the show soon. Anyway, Angie is a sweetheart. I mean, this girl is loved by everyone, and you'll soon see why.
Me and Noi would be on our outings because you would have outings. It was a requirement if you worked in nightlife. You had to go outings, and we're getting ready for competitions. So me and her would have, instead of a shaker, we would bring our protein and put it in a shaker and drink it and watch everybody drink around us.
That's hilarious.
And we would just be sitting there like, oh yeah, this is hard, you know? But then we would sit there and look and go, okay, we would look up on our phones what alcohol has the less amount of calories that we could drink.
Right.
And then we would do like an extra 30 minutes of cardio and cut out a carb.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was very like disciplined, but you had your like, you know, rhythm.
I think that the key to being consistent and being able to maintain your body composition is to have tricks like that. You got to. Otherwise, you lose your mind. So Angie competes, and I've never competed, nor do I want to. But it's kind of what I think a lot of these bodybuilding competitors do is they're living life, and they're also living a fitness lifestyle. So it's those competitions help them stay in shape because they need to get in shape for the next show. So what I teach and believe is that you do need these little tricks to stay consistent and maintain and sustain a healthy and fit body. So I teach a lot of different things. Like she's mentioning how she manipulated her drinks and when she went out and the things that she would do to still go out and have fun and have what they call a normal life. So I do a lot of that. If you're just living life and letting life hit you and you kind of reacting to life, usually that's not conducive of staying disciplined to a workout and nutrition plan, because whether it's stress or other people encouraging you to do something off track or not aligned with what you're trying to do, you will find that it's really hard to stay consistent. if you have tricks, and I have a lot of them, like there's, you have to schedule. I usually do a body fat test about every quarter. I also do a fast every quarter. You have to set things up so that you have a reason, you have a target, a laser-like focus on something. Otherwise, why say no to that piece of cake? Why? Okay, you say you have one treat meal a week, and then on Wednesday, which is not your treat day, someone comes up and says, "Let's have some pizza." You go, "Oh, okay. Well, no, I'm trying to stay clean," but and they give you peer pressure. But you tend to, if you don't have anything, even whether it's kind of made up or actual, like a fitness competition would be, a real thing coming up, and weddings or things like that. You really have to stay strict. But if you don't have those things, what do? You have to have different tricks. I always tell people to find something on the horizon in their life where they know they're going to be self-conscious about how their body looks, i.e. a vacation to Hawaii, pool season, whatever it is that that you want to feel good in your skin at that point down the road on the horizon of your life. That will give you the focus that you need to stay on track. So, for instance, you would not just go, "Oh yeah, summer's coming." You would write it down. You would put some dates, first day of summer, June 20th or whatever it is, and you would continually look at those dates to help you stay focused. Again, just because summer starts June 20th doesn't mean that you have to be on stage ready shape by then, but you want to have something in your mind, something to hold you accountable to your goals. And those little tricks are things that I use. Funny thing, one of my clients once said to me, she's like, "So what are you going to have? Like, you going to have something fun this weekend to eat?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm going to have some peanuts and a protein shake." And as my something good. And she was like laughing that was something that I thought was going to be a treat. And that's how silly you can make your little tricks. You can make a healthy shake taste pretty good. It's not like a Jamba Juice sugary shake, but you can make it taste good, with some bananas, maybe some almond milk, things like that. And you can make that shake feel like a treat. And those are little things that are going to help you stay on track. So yeah, tricks and all that kind of stuff, made up events that'll help you stay on track is super important. So the next guest that I'm going to share with you was Doc. That's his nickname, and he's a personal trainer as well, and he actually gets people ready for competitions, and he's doing a lot of work. He's also here in Las Vegas. He's in my generation, in his 50s. And he looks great. And let's see what that clip was with Doc.
And then learning technique, learning nutrition, and just from trial and error. And okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't work. And with understanding through my medical background, human physiology, anatomy, how things work, I think that's what gave me a little bit of an advantage on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then farther down the road, when I actually decided to become a prep coach, then it really kicked in. So I got into it at a late age.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think I'm pretty successful as a bodybuilding coach. I think I have a good reputation. I'm not a guru. I'm not one of the guys that brings 75 people to a show.
Right.
But when my people show up at shows, those gurus know I'm there.
Nice.
And they're like, their people don't go home with my people's trophies.
Yeah, Doc is crushing it. He just did the Samson with a few athletes, and he's got I think his team took home like 6 or 7 medals. Sorry if I got that wrong, Doc, but love your work. Yeah, so the part I wanted to interject about his clip there was that the bikini and wellness bodybuilding world specifically, and the bodybuilding world in general, the path to a show, again, I've never taken anyone to a show or been on a show, but I do know the damage that they can cause to your body if you don't have a good coach. I've seen coaches push their athletes too hard, or push them on stage before they're ready, and the emotional damage that can cause to your soul is something that I don't recommend anyone wanting to experience. And severe dieting and cutting and taking diuretics and other types of gear to make your body look that lean and get that lean, and the amounts of cardio that some of these coaches and trainers put their clients on. It's just, you really have to find a good coach like Doc. He has an amazing home gym called the Dog Pound, and he is just a great coach. He's got, all the food groups: men, women, kids, mature adults. He's got people that are just looking for wellness and health, and then he's got a team, and they're striving to do shows and get medals and go up the ladder and get to the Olympia stage. So the point that I really want to drive home, and that I have a lot of competitors on the show, and I just want to tell you people that are trying to do this, remember, severe dieting and training does have ramifications. And if you don't have someone taking you through these steps, you could do some serious damage. And I think the worst damage, your body's an amazing vessel. It can recover. But the emotional damages of getting on stage and not doing as well as you thought you were going to do, I think is probably the worst part, the emotional damage that can really wreck you forever. So be careful, find a coach like Doc or myself. And there's a lot of good coaches, and I don't protest to be a great competitor coach, but I would say I'm more of a lifestyle coach, and that's my forte. So, Doc, shout out, love you, guy. Our next guest is not a competitive bodybuilder, although although he really looks like one. Reed Wyatt, and let's see what Reed had to say.
To be honest, man, it's just, when you get to that level that you feel helpless to an extent. It's like, man, I'm this big guy, I'm a 300-pound dude. A week ago, I was, picking up 500-600 pounds for reps.
Right.
Now I got to have my wife. I can't bathe myself.
Wow.
I got to have my wife help me put my shoes on.
Yeah.
Or help get socks on me, or help get pants. It was just, that was it was a wake up call.
Right. Yeah, it's so many people, and I hate to say this, use it as an excuse, injuries. And it's also real. Like, if you have a back injury, it's gonna take some time to recover from that, and you need to feel some kind of way. You need to have that feeling of, this is not good for me, my spirit or whatever, and hopefully that motivates you to come back.
Right.
Was there something in that depression, in that period of your life where it was like it snapped and you said, I'm coming back?
Well, mentally for me, it was never that I had left. I was always mentally still involved, which I think is part of having an obsessive personality like I do have. Is you can never really let go of something.
Right.
So it's like, am I coming back? It's more like, am I able to perform what I wasn't able to perform? I always tried.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I'd be sitting there with an inflamed back, hurting, and I'd be on a bike. I'd be trying to do something to an unhealthy degree. I mean, you've seen that.
Yeah.
And so it was the first wake up call in a series of wake up calls that needed to take place for me to actually take ownership of my situation and my health. Is take a step back and go, man, you're not doing yourself favors.
Yeah. Injuries. I always tell my clients injuries are part of living a fitness lifestyle. You need to push your body, and that requires you to sometimes push it too far. It's hard to know your breaking point. Eventually, after years and years of working out, you will start to figure it out. But a lot of things can push you over the hill, meaning push you into a place where you might injure yourself. A lot of times in the group class environment, when there's a lot of encouragement from the participants, it tends to make you want to push it harder. And sometimes you're pushing it harder than your body can handle. CrossFit is a great activity, but there's a lot of rah, and you can push yourself too far because you're in the spirit, your adrenaline's pumping, and you just push yourself too far. But even if you're not in a class environment, even if you're training on your own or you're training with a coach, count on injuries. They will happen, and it's a good thing if you're doing the recovery right. And we'll talk about recovery later. But the point that I wanted to make about what Reed was saying is coming back from injuries and not letting injuries be an excuse. I can't tell you, I think I'm in my 50s. I think I've been injured in athletics for 45 years of my life, from playing high school football all the way through to working out. I've had spinning accidents. I had to get knee surgery after a spinning, not an accident, overtraining doing spinning. So what I didn't do, and like Reed was saying, let's say I had to get knee surgery. Okay, that means I'm not going to be able to do cardio or any leg workouts, serious leg workouts for a while. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do upper body. I don't let injuries be an excuse. Many people do. You'll hear it more later on in this show, how you have to push through the pain and get to the other side. You have to keep moving. So many people, I hear, oh, I injured my back and then I just started gaining a bunch of weight, and then the weight made me depressed, and then I started eating more food. And it's just a vicious circle into a point where you're a facsimile of the person that you used to be, not only physically, but emotionally, because the extra weight brings you down, your self-esteem goes down. It's just a hole that you need to find a way out of. Is there an easy solution to get out of it? What I recommend is don't get too far into the hole. Like Reed was saying, is you got to stay connected. There's a good chance that your whole body's not going to be injured. That's another level of injury. That's a whole nother topic. But it's usually a shoulder or a knee or an ankle or something like that. And you can still stay in the game and still exercise the body parts or the body section that's not injured. I also believe you should have a period of woe's me. Oh, I wish I didn't get injured. I was doing so good. All that, self-pity stuff. But don't live there. Get out of there as quickly as possible, and know that if you're not doing as much movement, you need to eat less. So again, our normal innate habit is we're hurt, we're injured, we want comfort food, we want to get that dopamine hit from the foods that we eat. So we go into comfort food eating, which is going to be your sugary and your salty foods, your high fat foods, and that's going to put on the weight. And that again could send you into that hole of depression and woe's me because you're injured and you were doing so good and what happened? You just really need to have your moment in self-pity. Have your injury, because injuries aren't a joke. They're for real, and I'm not downplaying them, but don't let them ruin all of the work you did and take you off track on the path that you're on to good health, fitness, and longevity. So what me and George did this week is we said we're going to go to Kilo Club in Summerlin, Las Vegas, and show my followers what we do over there at Kilo Club. What's up, Fit Fam? This is Giovanni of Gio's Logic here at the Kilo Club in Summerlin, Las Vegas. When you do presses on a ball or an unstable object, it forces all your muscles that are balancing muscles, stabilizer muscles, to fire while you're doing the exercise. So you gain more strength. The other reason I'm on a ball, because I'm going to be doing isolateral work, meaning one side of the body at a time. That helps balance your two sides, your left and your right, so that you're not only more symmetrical, but strong on the same side. Believe it or not, even if you're doing bench press, you can have one stronger arm than the other. So this is how it looks. Get a nice balanced stance, then you roll down, support your neck and your shoulders on the ball. So you don't want to be over here, you want to be here. Get your core up, your glutes and your hamstrings tight, abs tight, and you're going to push up. And you switch sides. All right, so that's one exercise on the ball. So with this next exercise, again, we're going to do a compound movement. So we're going to do a curl to overhead press. Again, I use this off arm to balance. Put the weight down, curl, press. Curl, press. Again, switch sides isolaterally. You'll know immediately that one arm is stronger than the other. It's usually your offhand. I'm right-handed, so my left is weaker. This also helps your posture because you're having to sit up straight and balance. So all the muscles in your back, your glutes, your upper back have to fire to keep you balanced. So it's a really great all-purpose exercise for your shoulders, your biceps, and your chest. Do it. So yeah, that's one of my, I intermingle that in. I don't say I would do that every week. I do that, I'd say maybe twice a month. I get in and do some ball stuff like that. It's really good. It's really a whole body exercise because you're keeping your, when you get on the ball and you're balancing, especially on the presses, your whole body is engaged isometrically to stay balanced and to keep your core tight and to keep your hips and your pelvis level to the ball. Essentially, you're creating a bench with your body, and it's a lot. It basically you're doing a full body workout, but focusing most of it on your chest and your shoulders. So you want to change up your workouts periodically. This is a really good one. People in the gym are going to look at you a little bit funny because you'll be in the dumbbell area with a ball, and it's not normal. But it really is a good exercise, especially doing isolateral stuff. You'll start to notice how unbalanced you really are. A lot of machines and things like that, you don't necessarily spot those areas that are out of balance. So this is really good thing for that. And then again, I really like the stabilizing muscles in posture work that it helps you to build on. Let's see. Oh, I just wanted to take this time to really thank Kilo Club and their support. They've been really a great partner, and I train my clients there, and they've allowed me to come in and shoot segments for the podcast for a year plus now, and they're just a really great ownership and management. And if you are looking for a gym in Las Vegas, it is the best gym in Las Vegas. It's never crowded because they limit their memberships, and it's got every piece of equipment you'd ever want. And it's clean. The bathrooms are ridiculous. So take a look at Kilo Club if you're in Las Vegas. My next clip, this girl, Kaylin Long, is a superstar in the making. This young lady had so many gems of. It's like, are you a writer or a quote writer? Because she had so many quotable things that came out of her mouth, and I was like, where does this girl come from with all these beautiful quotes? I was so impressed by her. She does a lot. One of the things she does is she competes in the bikini category, and you'll love Kaylin as much as we did. Your knowledge in the gym is definitely top level. You've got a lot of stuff going on in your life, and now you're bringing in a new area in your life. How do you manage all those different things and find time for you?
Well, my me time is enjoying what I'm doing, right? And even though I'm doing a lot, I love all of it. And so that makes it easier, right? So you got to do the things that you enjoy and that you're passionate about. And I operate much better when I'm at full capacity all the time. But it comes back to just that discipline, right? So keeping that schedule, keeping that structure to make sure that I'm propelling forward. At the beginning of 2021, I kind of lost that discipline for a little while. And it's crazy how quickly, when you're not doing it every single day, that like things kind of start to fall out of place. And then when you pick it back up, you're like, oh, but it's slow to come and quick to go. Right?
Yes.
So you got to make sure that you're just always staying on top of it. And sometimes it's easier than others, but when you really love something, it makes it a lot easier.
Man, how come that statement is always true? And people that are so successful always say, do something that you love, and what you do will never feel like work. Man, that's so true. Easier said than done, for sure. I feel blessed that I have this platform to reach more people. One of my goals in life is to reach more people with inspirational health and fitness information and ideas that will hopefully motivate them to live a healthier lifestyle. So yeah, this is not work to me. I want to do this more and more and more. And that's one of my goals. And when I do this, it 100% doesn't feel like work. And that's amazing. If you have that, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't have it, try and figure out what it is you love to do and work to do that all the time. Yeah. And, you know, she talks about being busy, you know, and even though she was busy, she loves everything she does. So it's easier. Like that's profound, because when we are doing something that we hate or that's just a spirit killer, it is torture. It is laborious. It is something that we can't wait for the weekend for, you know. I have a day job right now. I'm trying to make my love my sole purpose and sole source of income, but I don't have that yet. So I try and remember that I'm blessed to have a job that will help me survive, and I'm working towards something I love like this that will allow me to thrive. So I'm going to become a full-time inspirational coach, and that's my goal, to do something I love 100% of the time, instead of doing something I don't love 80% of the time. So, but again, easier said than done. You have to do the work, and it takes a lot of energy, because a lot of times that 80% of the time that you're not doing what you love takes a lot out of you. She was also saying in that one segment that she has a practice. She goes through certain disciplines on the regular. And I practice something as well. It's like your morning practice to set your day. You know, I do like I write down 5 things that I feel blessed for. You know, I usually put things that are frustrating on that list. Like, you know, I'm blessed to have a job. I'm blessed that my boss is who he is, because even the worst boss could be worse. There's blessings everywhere. You know, you can't discount that your boss may be hard on you, but what if your boss was harassing you? There's levels to it. So the things and the people that most frustrate you, you can try and find a blessing in that relationship, and it lifts something off of you when you do that. You start to go, well, I guess that's right. It could be worse. It could be something else. Even if you're struggling and you're not at your goals yet, you're not at your dreams, it's a blessing. You still have life to pursue those dreams. You're never, there's always something that you can twist it and you can shade a positive light on it if you really step back and go, okay, you know, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm blessed to still have health and the physical drive and desire to do something or be something better or find something that I love to do that will make working at it a joy. It's really possible. So if you really want to go check out that episode, it was really one of the best. And like, keep an eye out for that girl. She's going to be a superstar. Let's see here. My last guest is someone I met about a year ago, or my last clip. His name is Ron Gallagher. He's actually does his podcast here at Sticky Paws Studios as well, and his non-traditional physical therapy office is right next door, and that's how we kind of met. And he's literally changed my life. He's supported what I had said earlier about not letting injuries keep you in a hole where you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to do squats anymore because I hurt my knee, or, oh, well, I hurt my back, and so I can't do deadlifts anymore. So, which sends you on a slow spiral down into death, believe it or not. You need to keep moving. As you get older, your body will start to break down, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're broken. It means that you have to do the work to strengthen particular muscles so that you're stronger again, so that you can do heavier loads, specifically leg work, because your legs are the largest part of your body, the largest muscle group in your body, which means it's the largest place for metabolism. So you want to also know that and work your legs at least twice a week, because you're working your metabolism core. So if you're one of your excuses is, oh, I'm getting older and my metabolism is starting to get lower. Well, your leg mass is probably getting a lot lower. You might not even be fat, but you might be skinny fat, and one of the biggest problems isn't, obesity. Well, it is a big problem, but it's also being under muscular. So you're over fat and under muscular, and that's a recipe for disaster. So you've got to rebuild your core metabolism base, which is your legs, and Ron is helping me do that. And if you're in Las Vegas, reach out to MVPT. He will change your life.
If you don't have the hip strength to support full depth, you can't access the right muscles to squat. So it has to be full depth for you to get the tension on that capsule, and for the arthritis or the arthritic condition of your knee to be unweighted.
Yeah.
So that's why we hammer away at depth.
We go forever now. We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm at your center, yeah. You wish that you can do better, no, I won't let them, We go forever and ever, yeah. I go and create the pressure, yeah. You wish that you can do better, You wish that you can do better, yeah. I know that I can do better. I'm so in love with the cheddar. I'm so in love with my little boo. It was written like a letter. Think I was born with the juice. Think I was born with the sauce. Think I was born a little crazy.
Stand up.
And I turned up to a boss. Gotta go and get it. I keep running up the digits. Lost my mind, I gotta fix it. Kill the beat, cold kill it.
Back.
Need to change the way I'm living.
That's heavy.
175.
It's 175? Wow.
I would have been happy with 165. I planned 165 for your bar. Step in your journey.
True.
It's not so much that you can't do. It's just the next step. So we routinely have PRs. There's no reason why one more step. I mean, that's the whole thing about this knee recovery, is as consistent as you can be at providing more depth, more load, more depth, more load, and just conditioning this knee to tolerate loads. That's how you change all these long-standing impairments. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just one more step. Last set, here we go. Fucking incredible. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Thank you, sir.
All you had to do was wear a Hulk shirt.
So simple. all you had to do was wear a Hulk shirt. Damn, all this time. I blew it. Anyway, Ron is great. I mean, you can just those words of wisdom he spouts out. Every day I go in there. I go in there once a week now. And, you know, we all have these stories that we tell ourselves all week, you know, between, you know, different events. And my story is a lot like a lot of yours. And I feel like, oh, woe's me, it's not working, it's not happening fast enough. But I've had 3 knee surgeries, 2 on my left, 1 on my right. I don't really have any cartilage on my knees. I've been to orthopedic surgeons that have said, well, maybe it's time for a knee replacement. And now I'm back to squatting again, and I'm close to my goal. I think I'm squatting now 165, which is not a lot for, you know, a lot of people that are watching this, but from where I was a year ago, it's definitely a lot. And I've pushed through so many barriers, so many mental barriers with Ron's coaching. I can't tell you enough how strong it makes me feel mentally as well as physically. I've got more muscle in my lower torso than I had in probably, I want to say 15 years. Over the last year, I put on that much leg muscle, which again, what that means is metabolism. I'm boosted my metabolism by increasing my leg muscle mass. And they're not like big. My pants still fit and all that. There's more lean muscle within my leg. That's what's happened. But they're like literally every week, because it's not easy. It's painful to get your muscles and your knees to function again after years and years of avoiding those things because they hurt. The pain is not necessarily that you're damaging something or you should stop. A lot of times what Ron says, the pain is a stretch. So if you do a motion and you on that, you know, motion at the end of it, your muscles are stretching, but there's pain there. But when you let it go, the pain is gone. That pain was from stretching, not from any damage that you've done. Same thing with the knees. You squat down and your knees hurt. That's more like a stretching pain, and you'll notice when you stand up and walk away, the pain goes away. That's not an injury. So you got to work through that stretching pain. I think what he was saying was the stretching pain is almost the same as an injury pain. The body can't, your mind can't tell the difference between a stretching pain and a injury pain. So what you do is you'll stretch in a motion, an exercise, and it causes you pain, so you stop. Oh, I can't do that anymore. It hurts too much. I think I'm damaging my knees. The doctor told me I have arthritis, and he said I need a knee replacement, so I better stop. That's the answer. That's the story I've been telling myself for years and years and years, not just 1 year, many, many years, decades. So I'm pushing through that. I can't tell you how important creating more muscle mass on you. Again, we're not only over fat in this country, in this world, we're under muscled. So you need to build more muscle. And ladies, specifically, I'm not talking about getting bulky. The only way you can get bulky is eat like shit and work out. Then you'll get bulky. If you eat clean, a whole food diet, whether it's vegan, vegetarian, carnivore, paleo, whatever it is, or whatever you do, if you eat clean and you're getting enough protein in every meal, and you're working out consistently and hard, lifting heavy, you will not get bulky. And you know how hard it is to change your body. you stop doing it, you'll be right back to where you were in less than 2 weeks. Guaranteed. There's no workouts or lifting heavy that's going to change you into a muscle head, and then you're stuck there. Your body's just going to be walking around like a big man. No. You stop working out. You don't like where your body's headed because you're eating like shit and you're working out and you think some magic is supposed to happen. No. You stop working out, your body will be back to where it was or worse in about 2 weeks. So that excuse is old and dead. So stop using it. So I think that's it. Or do we have one more workout video? Let's check out that last video at Kilo Club. What's up, Fit Fam? We're here at Kilo Club still, and we're about to do some cable pulleys. If your gym doesn't have one of these, you need to find a new gym. So what I like to do in almost all of my workouts is keep it moving, meaning I like to do supersets or giant sets. This is a superset. With the superset, you don't rest between exercises. So it's 2 exercises back to back. Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day liked to do this because he didn't have to rest. He would use opposing muscle groups. So what I'm going to do here is a press and then a rear delt movement as well. I don't have to rest because I've just worked my chest and my shoulders, and now I'm going to work the back side of my body, my upper back and my rear delts and my triceps. So it's a great exercise, one of my favorite supersets. So it's going to look something like this. When you get to 10, you hold it out and you switch legs. Then you keep going, another 10. Again, you're holding that squeeze and isometrically squeezing your chest on the out. Now remember, we're about to do the superset. So you drop this. You want to lower it a little bit because you're not leaning into this next exercise. I like to put my hand through here so the handle isn't whacking you, and then grab the end of the cable. Then you walk back, get the other one. So again, remember, I'm not leaning forward, I'm standing straight up. Arms straight, no bend in them. You'll still get the triceps. Down slowly. And there it is, superset. Yeah, one of my favorites. A lot of bodybuilders tend to do the cable area a little bit more at the end of their workouts, like a finishing. I like to do it at the beginning of my workout. I feel like it's more of a warm-up for me. I don't go heavy on those. So, to each his own, where you put it, just do it. Just get moving, stay consistent. If you're in Vegas and you're near Summerlin, Vegas is so small. If you live anywhere except maybe way on the east side, go check out Kilo Club in Summerlin. You will be amazed. But yeah, again, love to keep on talking about these past episodes, and there's a lot more that I didn't cover here. Again, I just wanted to give my perspective and hear my voice a little bit and talk about some of the things that my other guests had said, and to give you Gio's logic perspective. And that's why I call this the world according to Gio's logic. If you're still listening, like, share, write a review. It all helps the algorithm. Appreciate it. Oh, and subscribe. Don't just, so many people tell me, oh, I watch your show, but like, why aren't you subscribed? So subscribe. And until next time, Fit Fam, I'm out.
I can feel the energy.